Welcome to NSF Forum. My name is Eguavoen Ashaolu. Today on the show, we'll be looking at the game between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and Sudan. That will be our second Group D game. And remember, Sudan are former winners and they hosted the first edition of African Cup of Nations. So it's going to be another contention for the Super Eagles. The 3 points at this time is very crucial so that we know that we are done and dusted as far as the group is concerned. Then we look forward to the knockouts stage. Now we have in the studio Eguavoen and James Agberebi. James again, thank God for the niggling. Is it growing or hamstring? It's over now. He plays regularly, so the injury keeps coming. James Agberebi, once again, you're welcome.
It's a pleasure.
Eguavoen, thanks for coming through once again.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so you need to sit down and relax. Let's take you through this journey as we look at the preparations for the Super Eagles game. That will be on Saturday. Of course, like we said in the review of that game against Egypt, there are a couple of injuries in the camp. So we're hoping that the players will recover before that game. We'll be back. Please stay with us. Welcome back. It's still NSF Forum. Kayode, let me start with you. The celebrations are over now. We're focused on the next game against Sudan. We've played Sudan twice in the African Cup of Nations, won one, lost one. It's going to be another test for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. It's going to be a different game entirely. You know, like Eguavoen said, there are no longer minors in football. But let's look at it. How do you think we should approach this game?
Ordinarily, conventional reason would say you don't change your winning team. So I would, with the exception of the injuries, if they are not too serious and those guys can get to play, I will start the next game having in mind that we are playing another, so to speak, Northern African team, and they have this the Arab mentality, just like the Egypt that we drowned in the Red Sea.
That we won't see again.
So I would want us to start like that. But regardless of however we start, whatever players we put on the pitch, I want us to maintain our offensive ability against teams. You see, when you go on the offense, you increase your chances of winning games. Yeah, you increase your chances of winning games because
like we saw against Egypt.
When you keep knocking at the point, no matter how defensive the other team is, at the point something will give. Yeah. You cannot defend for 90 minutes. It's either you consider an own goal or you make mistakes that will lead to penalties. So if the offensive ferocity is maintained, I'm very sure that at the point we're going to get something. So for me, I will start with the top two because the relationship between Iheanacho and Awoniyi is one that we should nurture. And for the longer they play together, the better they will get. Before we get to the knockout stages, it's better they familiarize with each other and you keep them on the pitch for as long as you can. So I don't want us thinking with that because it's something that is an experiment sort of. So if you now begin to shuffle and bring out players, it might affect the bonding between those two. So I'm hoping to see that synergy. I'm hoping to see Aribo assert himself more influentially in the middle because I foresee him being one of our most important players going forward. And I also want to see a little bit more of Kelechi Nwakali.
Okay, Nwakali.
I'm a little bit partial to that boy. Yeah, I know you're going to say that. Thank you for saying it.
Come, I'm not saying anything.
I'm a little bit partial to him. I have seen him play. I want to see him play more. I want to see him grow in the Super Eagles. He's one of our future in the team. So I want him to get bedded into the team as soon as possible, and that can only happen when he gets to play more. So I want to see him also play. And I want to see Ola Aina again. Very exciting player. I like his bombing forward. I like that. Of course, indeed, he's a player ever present that you all want to see. But most important thing, I want the players to keep safe, to keep injury free, and to get the 3 points. Because the earlier we get the 3 points, the easier it will be.
The better we know we are home and dry.
We can sit down and relax for the final game against Guinea-Bissau.
Okay, James, let's look at Sudan versus Guinea-Bissau. We saw that game. Do you think the Super Eagles need to be aware of anything? Remember that the Guinea-Bissau, they lost the penalty. So Sudan could have been without a point right now. Do you think we need to be aware of something?
Yeah, the two. I had the opportunity of at least seeing some parts of the game, and from what I saw, the Guinea-Bissau team, they were so unfortunate. Right from the first half, they had a couple of chances. They kept the Sudanese in the back foot for most of the game. So I believe our coaches would have watched the clip and know what to do against the Sudanese. Fine, we've defeated Egypt, but it's not, that's in the past now.
It's just the beginning of the battle.
Past, so playing against Sudan is a different ball game entirely now. So they just have to be focused, get the job done, so that we're able to plan properly for the knockout. Because I feel if they can get all 3 points against Sudan, the game against Guinea-Bissau will be like a preparation for the knockout stage. So that's why this game against Sudan on Saturday will be very, very crucial. You just have to give it their all. Continue from where you stopped against Egypt. Go forward. Fine. There are no small teams, but for me, I still believe there are still small teams in football. It depends on how the big team.
So you believe there are still minors? You say there are still minors?
There are minors.
There are still minors. That's how you.
But have you guys forgotten Sierra Leone versus Algeria?
Yeah, because we made them look like that. We made them look as if they are better than what they are.
Those are things that will happen. They are freak of nature. They happen once in a while. That's why they call them upsets. Everything that
Sierra Leone even had the opportunity to score. They had opportunities.
Anything that happens frequently is not an upset. So. Or Sierra Leone holding Nigeria or coming to Nigeria to play a 4-4 draw with Nigeria, those ones are pockets, they are upsets. But they are still minnows in football. It depends on how you, the so-called giants, treat them. If you treat them, if you properly put them in their place, they will remain in their place.
We made a lot of many of these small teams during the World Cup. We made
them look like
Central African Republic,
like prime Brazil.
That's the truth.
That's a message for Geno. That's another message for Geno.
Them in their
place.
Bomb them, score them properly, finish them off. So that by the time they want to
just say spank them properly, spank them.
When they want to come up against you, they know that this team. We just have to be careful. Because when you start giving them that belief that
they can do something,
they will bring confidence and they will do it. Just like what Central Africa did to us.
In Lagos. Okay, so you think that the AFCON record we have with Sudan in this game would not count? Is that what you're saying?
When they defeated us, it was our first edition in 1963. They were in the first edition, 1957.
Yeah.
1959.
And so they
I think they hosted in 1957, right?
They hosted in 1970, which they won. We were just coming into the competition, we warmed ourselves, so we are bigger than them now. So going into this contest, in terms of recent achievement, we are far ahead of them, so we just have to show them that we are bigger than them. The 3 points is very important to us, and we just have to get it. And the only way to get it is to play well and beat them well. So that's it.
Okay, Kayode, you've talked about the attack, talk about the relationship between Iheanacho and Awoni and the fact that we need to nurture that relationship. But let's look at the defense now. If Awaziem and Umero happens that they are not able to shake off the injury, you think Semi Ajayi should be able to fit in, to partner Ekong in the defense?
Absolutely. I do not have any doubt whatsoever with Semi Ajayi. The times he has had with the Super Eagles, he has discharged his duties creditably. Nobody can say he didn't do well. You understand? So for me, I think he's a good replacement for either Chidozie Awaziem or Kenneth Omero. Sad. After what Omero did in the last game against Egypt, that he had that unfortunate injury. So if he's not able to play, we don't know yet. We are not the medical doctors. Like I always tell you, I will listen to the medical doctor above any other person. But if at the end of the day he's not able to make it and say it's Semi Ajayi, I know we are adequately covered. Because his presence alone in that defense is massive. When you see him physically, you know that he's imposing. So that should count for something for us. So I am hopeful that he will be able to do a good job.
Okay, let's quickly go on this very brief break. We'll be back to continue to talk about the preparation of the Super Eagles, that game against Sudan on Saturday. Please stay with us. All right, welcome back, and it's still NSF Super Fans Forum. James, let's talk about the flanks now. Chukwueze didn't really have, so to say, an impressive game against Egypt. would you say that Coach Augustine Eguavoen should rest Chukwueze, observe how the game is played, then maybe possibly still retain Moses Simon at the left-hand side?
I think you should still retain the same lineup, because if you now bench Chukwueze, you know these young players, by the time you just throw them aside, you might kill the confidence. I just believe he had a bad day against, not totally bad, but he was not really in the game. He didn't really impose himself, unlike Moses, who was constantly tormenting the right side. Their player had to be substituted with injury. So for me, I think you should still keep the same team. Then as the game wore on, you now bring in Ejuke. Ejuke did well against Egypt, but I think indecision. He didn't.
Indecision, or he wanted to just go all out.
I don't know, but the decision making was poor. So I believe he would have corrected that. So for me, I think he should still maintain the same team so that they're able to blend. Because by the time you start chopping and changing, I mean, at the end of the day, you now show as if you don't even know your team. So let him just maintain that the lineup. Then I believe they will do something against Sudan.
Kayode, I see you nod to that last point James made. You think Augustine Eguavoen should maintain the same lineup, apart from the players who may be carrying one knock or the other?
Of course, because like this is supposed to be a totally new team. People tend to forget when they say this is not Eguavoen's first coming. Yeah, but the teams Eguavoen coached are not the same players. These are very new players. Nwakali said this is his first time under Eguavoen, which is true.
Yeah.
For all of the players, most of them might know him by reputation. They do not know him. They have
no
relationship. Yeah. So now he's also getting to know them individually now, close up. So for me, the team that has worked for him perfectly in the first game, he should just stick with that thing. So that the more they play together, the more they bond, the more the synergy, the better the team gets. Fine, there will be people to bring in once in a while when you need to turn things around, but you cannot start that because you just want to change for the sake of changing. Stick with this team. Let's see how it goes. If you need to change, you have 5 options that you can do that during the course of the game. But to start out, I will start with the team that defeated Egypt last Tuesday.
Guys, this question has been in my head, but I think I can't just get it off. Now, if we have a local coach that can manage this team well this way, that the team can play very well under him this way within the short period of time, then why do we need a Pesero? Really, because if we had gone to this tournament with a foreign coach and the team played the way we saw it against it, a lot of people would have said, can you see what a foreign coach can bring?
Can I answer that? See, like I keep saying, Femi, I'm running away from the temptation to begin to make noise over this.
Please, don't run. Please, face the temptation.
No. This is just a game. What we saw, as pleasing as it is, the Eagles did something similar in 2017 against Cameroon in New York. I guess, what's his name? Raw just allowed the guys to outgrow him. So he lost control of the team. There was no discipline, there was no competition again. But when you put up competition, let me use an instance. When Eguavoen brought on Ejuke for Chukwueze, you saw that Ejuke felt he had something to prove. So that next game I will start ahead of him. I'm very sure where Chukwueze also sat, he would be wondering, what else should I have done?
That this guy
so that next game
I can do it.
I win. That is what competition engenders. It engenders perfection. If you keep playing if you keep making players so that nobody is indispensable, you see the best of them. But when you allow some players to think they are the first names on the roster, whatever happens, whether it's sunshine or earthquake, they will get.
Whether you come one day when it comes to come a day before the game,
you get your place sorted. So for me, that's where the problem is. It's not. See, I still believe that Eguavoen came with a game plan. The player is stuck with it. The players played it to perfection, but I am still not tempted to run away with we shouldn't have had this. Why are we looking for a foreign coach? No, all of this we still get to talk, to have that conversation. But for now, let us do this job. Let's see whether at the end of the day, by the end of this competition, whether Eguavoen will put the NFF in a very, very impossible situation. Because if he wins and wins well, If he is able to play like this and they get to win the competition, then Nigerians, not Eguavoen, will ask the NFF, why do you have to bring in another coach? Maybe by then they will have to ask Pesero Otoku and keep whatever monies they have paid him. That's his own good luck. But Eguavoen must continue to show that he has the knowledge and the ability to take this thing further than we have had so far.
James, I would have wanted to ask you more questions, but for the sake of time, let me put you on the spot. What would be your prediction for the game against Sudan? Or what would be the least acceptable scoreline to you? 2-0.
Favor of Super Eagles.
Who will score?
I see Awuni, I believe Awuni, because he was very close on several occasions against Egypt. Then I think Iheanacho might still get to it might still have to be the one he scored against Egypt.
Okay, Kayode.
Incidentally, I also agree with the 2-0 scoreline.
It seems there's this. Maybe we also need to maintain this partnership today.
I agree with the 2-0 scoreline, but I think Awuni will score. I think he's getting closer to. He's smelling the goals already, and fortunately, if Aribo gets to stay on the pitch, I see him scoring.
Aribo
and Awuni. Those are my two scorers.
Okay. I'm sure you were impressed with what the Super Eagles played against Egypt. If you're not, that means you're not in Nigeria. But for this game against Sudan, let's know what your predictions would be. Who do you think will score? A lot of people got that the prediction wrong against Egypt, because a lot of people said the best Nigeria could get against Egypt was a draw. And of course, the Super Eagles disappointed surprise, tore a lot of people's tickets. So for this game against Sudan, let's know what your predictions will be. Once again, guys, thanks for coming on the show. So we wish the Super Eagles of Nigeria all the best against Sudan. I think it should be, for me, I think it should be a 4-0 or a 3-0. It shouldn't be lesser than that. Until we come your way to do a review of this game. My name is Eguavoen. Have a wonderful day.